Paul Austin put some snaps.
Wow, look what the wind blew in. That's a cool cat right there. Trixter 1. We on the Windy 101. Come check us out. Graph History. Chicago, Windy City.
Every nigga is a star. What's going on? This is Tamper.
This is Mexico.
Yo, this is the Windy 101. Make some noise for yourself for hitting that button, subscribing, and making sure everyone, including yourself, hit the bell.
Ding ding. And comment. Always comment.
Always comment. And
all that.
Hate, love, sit on the fence about it, pause, tell your friends about it, don't pause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers.
Anywho, man, thanks for coming back. We got one of Chicago's superheroes of our culture of getting up in really big manners that make you look cool and make you want to do it again. Yeah?
Yeah. Peace.
Yo, we got
101 audience. How y'all doing?
There it is.
Yeah.
Yo, we got the homie Trixter in here, man.
Keep it moving. Go on.
Dope. So I want to know is how'd you get your name? Like where did it all start?
How did I get my name? Well, basically, primarily from b-boying, from doing, becoming recognized as an innovative b-boy back in the days from the 80s. I started actually in 70s, 78, 79, street dancing, doing performance, dance and stuff like that in clubs and stuff like that.
Sounds familiar.
And then, it grew from there. Tricks and you stir most of the hip-hop field or the hip-hop audience or whatever. When we b-boyed or whatever, you had to move the crowd, move the audience. So when you come in and you stir, tricks, and then all the moves were called tricks at the time. So trickster. That's the core of how it really originated. It started as Mr. Tricks.
That's dope. Yeah. What's your favorite trick?
My favorite what?
Trick. What's your move? Like your go-to move?
My go-to move.
You're like, I'm tired.
Combinations. Just combinations in general. A go-to move, maybe tracks or something like that. Yeah.
What's up?
Some tall tracks, dude. You've been this tall for this long.
I went through some growth, periods or whatever.
I'm never gonna get tall, man. I'm just 5'9" forever, and I'm like, man, I'm watching people younger than me grow taller than me. Like, yo, you still gotta look down or up. You know what I'm trying to say?
It's all good. That's where it all began.
Yeah.
So it's
That's dope.
That's where it all began.
So, what was the first? When was the first time you decided you were gonna be growing up and getting up? Like, when were you like, this is it? We painting metal. I'm putting 13 hours on a train.
I know, right? I can say initially probably about 80, 82, 83. That's when I really officially went out and started, catching wreck, doing things
That's dope.
Beyond the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because initially when I started doing clothes, decorations. And
what neighborhood?
Austin community, Garfield area. That's where I came up, the west side of Chicago. And that's how I came up, bro. It was a great time, I went from that, transition from doing martial arts and street dancing and craft and artworks, and I was working with computers too back then in the 70s. And then that transitioned into dancing, street dancing, and painting.
So you know about the actual floppy disk?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Definitely. When you used to have the build kits before personal computers were actually available.
Motherfuckers are smart.
Damn.
Just don't write on shit all the time, just sometimes.
Yeah.
But go on.
It was cool, It was pretty live, growing up in the community. There wasn't a lot of art programs out there. And, doing art and decorating, putting our names on things started from when we used to wear the astrology signs and then the iron-on velvet letters. We used to put them on, and everybody used to go dance.
Right.
And so we used to wear the little gloves and stuff. So it was cool.
We gotta get the same font. Get the same font.
Yeah.
Steal them. Just steal them.
Yeah. We put our little names on there. Put our little crew names on there. So we was into acronyms and all that stuff. It became a natural succession.
Dope. He lost you.
Man, I'm just in it.
Yeah.
Are you in any crews now?
I still rep my original crews. I'm down with a few, modern crews as well. Original X-Men, heads in ECMPC, TCP, which was the original crew. We put together a conglomerate of crews, which was based on corporate structure. We had North Side, South Side, West Side, East Side, and we came together as a super group, and we was the first to really pioneer that. And yeah, it was, yeah. But my, other crews I'm down with, like DTE, COD crew, some New York crews. I can go on and on. A few other state crews as well.
How did you guys stay connected? Like nowadays, you got the internet. You know what I'm saying, real quick. You look somebody up. And
peep these flips real quick.
You slide. Back in the day, like, how did you guys go about being connected from the north side to being all city?
Well, the super transfer. You may have heard that before.
The super transfer,
bro. That was a big driver of that. And then just in general, going to school. I started out. I went to Lane Tech High School, and so it was for me coming from the West Side, Austin community, all the way, from Garfield, Austin, Garfield community.
Dude, when'd you start your day?
Yeah, I had to leave out like 6 in the morning, 5:30, 6 in the morning at that time, 13, 14. So that was strange accordingly because I was used to traveling. So I was just going far distances, and that kind of aided my ability to get off city because I knew the trains. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know the trains are really early on. When I was like 10, 9, 8, I used to go, away from the house and go on the train, look at the maps and stuff. And go, I gotta go here. I just have fun. It's cool. That's how I got into trains. I was already into trains while I was in riding.
Oh snap!
Yeah.
How important were trains back then compared to now? Do you think? Oh, double with yourself and the rest of the community.
You mean, well, as far as in the transit, utilitarian use. It was very popular. I can remember when there were electric cars when they had the train going across the side.
Static in the sky.
Yeah, I was around. I saw that when I was a youth. But initially, when the trains, subways, and elevated trains came around, it was super popular because it allowed you to travel, great distances and get around and get places and get a little bit more. A lot of people never left their neighborhood.
Right.
Which still happens now.
Still. Once you cross
people don't know how to
Madison,
go downtown and travel. Well, how do you get downtown?
you cross Madison, it's Evanston.
How old are you? 40? You don't never been downtown?
Right.
Yeah. It's fucked up. Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Right now, yeah.
Right now, like straight up, right now, there's people who don't know.
They don't know. They don't move away from nowhere.
Ask Google. Ask Siri.
You can actually say it out loud. I mean, someone's gonna hear it. He'll laugh, I'll laugh, Siri laughs.
Yeah, man. The graphic series, bro. Coming out of street dancing, dancing and knowing, some of the pioneers of the dance scene in hip hop and knowing where hip hop started, like with Soul Train here and that movement. And then, for some reason, the natural succession of decorating and doing names. I started doing stencils and I was doing wheat pasting back in the 80s, bro. Like 81, 82, I was already doing wheat pasting.
You were wheat pasting
like
patches on people or just?
No, wheat pasting. That was a little thing that I crafted. I was into.
Dope.
That's an older art.
Yeah.
But I was doing that back then, and decorating my clothes became a hobby. I started making money doing it. And
did you do airbrush?
Yeah, I started airbrush like in 80, 83.
Tall jeans.
Yeah,
there was
I was working downtown in the major art stores. Sheldon, which was a very popular art store back in the day. Everybody used to go get supplies and stuff like that. And
my cousin Eric used to get stuff from you a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I was always like, yo, who did this? He's like, got no tricks, and you just leave.
What does he rap?
He doesn't rap. He went by Rabbit. He used to go as Rabbit.
Rabbit. I might know that. Sounds
Inglewood Cat. Actually, no, it was like Wentworth Gardens, but still.
Yeah.
He was always like, yeah, man, you gotta get.
I used to move around, so it could
have been
next
anywhere.
when you were saying how was I getting around? So the trains was one method, but then getting around to other friends, I used to go to Rogers Park, like because I went to Lane Tech, and then I met my man TCP Stain, and then Akbar Peely, Chaos and the new TCP crew, and then when I went to high school in '84, 83 I started, but '84. My man Defsky came. Defsky was part of the original NPC crew up on the north side, and I met him and we went up north in Rogers Park. Then and then Slang was from like what's Wicker Park now. Slang was already Noble Square. He was already all down Wicker Park. what's called Wicker Park now. It wasn't
It
called
was like Noble.
Yeah, it was Noble School in that area. Yeah, so man, when we grew up on the north side, the Devsky, I met some of the up-and-coming writers there, UAC crew. They were out. Telly, Flea, these guys were kind of popular.
Yeah.
Over there on the north side. You know, Page and them, Civil, some of my guys. For Paint, Most Proof, they were following a lot up that way. And then Train, Shaggy and Train, they were part of my crew. And so I went up that way, and then I went up to Evanston, chilled with Wiz and some of the brothers up there, Clean, some these guys.
Puma Wiz?
Puma, yeah, Wiz. He was.
Because there was one up Wiz that some people.
One up
Wiz is dope too. Wiz was dope, but there was Puma Wiz as well.
Puma Wiz, original guy. Puma crew, Picasso, some of these guys, we went to high school, they came to high school. ACW crew, I was down with them. It was crazy because they had a beef with our crew and we had a little battle. But we went through all that, but they still was cool. And we kind of like squashed all that stuff. It was fun time.
They were just talking shit to you next time. They say, hey man, tell your homies.
Yeah.
Speaking of battles,
Hey.
how did the battles go down back in the day? Like,
I don't know. Battles were kind of. I was kind of like Lutrum, kind of like, because I was like a ambassador for back then, and I was on all sides of the town, so I knew a lot of cats from different crews.
Trixter was Switzerland.
Yeah. So yeah, it's true. So
like that ass. I've heard this story.
A lot of the crews and cats, when some battles were down, cats was bombing. There was some bombing wars. I mean, most of Orc and these cats, most of the crew went through north. There was a north-south battle. South side cats, and it was went back and forth for a while. It was just mostly get up for a while. Then it had some flipping and some battles, which was
so was it like whole crews together that just
whole crews,
just throw up north and everybody
they
south had to throw up south.
It went north south. It went anybody who was a rider from the north, anybody was the south, and there's people jumping in from different crews. But initially it started with them and a few of the other cats out there. Shit, Paul, I don't forget who it was, but. I remember when it started though, that's what it was, and then we had like ABC, CTA, these cats was back and forth, but it was a mostly art, kind of thing. It was a good time, but most of the other battles I don't recall too many of them, but on the south side, because that's one line that I didn't frequent too much, but I did go on the orange line when it first opened, because it didn't exist when
Right.
Yeah. So after it did, I started going that way.
Freight and Rivers.
Yeah.
And like, what was that line before Metro?
Um,
They were yellow. Anyway.
Amtrak. I mean.
No, it wasn't Amtrak or Metro. There was another line. It was a freight line basically, but it was for passengers. It was one of the first ones I went to Chicago. Oh snap! We'll leave my history behind. I'm just kidding.
That's all good. It's all good.
I can't be schooling.
But it was a great time though, man. Yeah, definitely. That's how I got around and got all city. I started doing big production, north side, south side. Oracle go to south side, Sick Nick, NPC Brew. I knew a lot of the south side writers. I was around shop when I first started. I was one of the founding guys around.
What chapter?
The founding, the guys who first founded it and said we would make a group.
Just making sure that was said out loud.
Yeah. No chapter. There was no such thing. They had just came over the name. He asked me what the name sound. So this is
hey, we're trying to do a show here.
Yeah, it was cool, bro. Great times, bro. But moving along, bro. As I've been, checking the scene now, it's growing. I'm looking forward to this new shit. Keeping active.
Word up. You got some crazy on the run stories?
Oh yeah, no doubt, bro, man. Yeah. How about one time we had a little writers meeting and everybody went from the south side from the north side to the south side, and we were bombing trains along the way. It was about 25 writers deep, or 30 writers deep. We was coming through the trains, and then we had hit the south side trains, and then it came to what the hell was we at? We was coming from like 60s or something like that. And then the conductor stopped the train because this was
probably smell it by now.
Yeah, this is when the conductors was on the train and talking and looking out the window, opening the doors before the driver was doing it. And they stopped the train, B, and I'm like, oh shit. Like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, this train is not moving. Da da da. I'm like, oh,
We out.
like, so boom, boom. We all bail out the thing. Some cats start want to run. Some cats want to go up to the station. And then I'm like, man, no, the police are at the station. You guys, da da. So some cats start running. And so this was one of the highest points of the train. It was like super high, like. And so
In the 60s, it's real high, dude.
Yeah, I was running, and then we get to the edge, and everybody like that, and everybody catch like, what's up, what's up, what's up? I look down, I jump.
Oh snap!
To a garage, bro. Boom. Spin, roll, jump off the garage. Just landed in the alley and just walked in. Just started walking. It's about 100 feet, 100 more feet up. You know, I'm like, oh,
Yo,
you come like, yeah.
Trickster's
And
like.
so then a couple people jumped after me though, bro. Everybody else went back, and I don't know what happened.
Oh, he made it. Shit.
Yeah, they ran to the train and jetted out. That's
Trickster was like fully concussed, probably bleeding.
No,
with a little bit of limp, and he's like,
yeah, that's the yeah, we have to shake, but I remember one time
sweating profusely. Like,
yeah, here's another one. We at the yards, man, with my guy, man, and one of my guys from New York was just painting, and we in the yards and shit, bro, and then the guy opened up the doors and was like, hey, what are you guys doing? So we bam. He's standing there and keep talking. I'm like, damn. So I'm like, damn, after like 2 or 3 minutes of talking, I walk back and I'm like, damn, what's up? And he's still talking to the guy, and he's like, all right, man. And he's like, yeah, let me finish my piece. And the guy's standing there like, man, no, you can't do that. I'm like 3 minutes in. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, oh.
We're still doing it? We're still here?
Yeah, bro.
We're live?
Yeah, I'm like, so he from New York, right? I'm like, damn. So I'm gonna just chill. Like, I'm like, look at this shit. Like, okay, he started talking to the guy. The guy's like, hey. And he ain't radio and shit. I'm like, damn. So he done talk to this dude.
Might as well finish.
But then he just like slowly started putting this shit up and like, okay, all right, bro. And we just chatted out. That was one weird story. But Chase stories. I was with my guy.
To talk your way out of here, like, we just finished.
I was with my guy Scene, bro, ABC. And we doing this wall, bro, and we get up there. I have about 40, 50 cans. And I have them in a little portfolio, like a square long, big portfolio. And I had them like layered in the portfolio like this. It's like a big portfolio of cans. So we get up on the roof. We get ready to start. Just start the outline. Then I'm listening. Right? I hear the brakes squeaking on like a paddy wagon. I hear, and I'm hearing that little noise. I'm like, damn, that sounds like a paddy wagon.
Backing up.
So
why the paddy wagon loud?
Yeah. So I go up to the edge of the roof. I see him pull up, and then I see another one coming up with his lights out. And this happened. We was only about 15 minutes, 20 minutes in. And man, they came, but we came. It was on Milwaukee, and right by the blue line, and it was luckily roofs, a whole bunch of roofs, about maybe 8 roofs.
Because they're all real close.
Yeah. So man,
you could have probably just stepped over.
Yeah, check this out. I go up the round, I go over like one roof, and they got the whole thing surrounded like for maybe about 12 to 15 cars.
Snap.
Yeah, so me and Cena, I'm like, oh shit, Cena's like, what you gonna do about the paint? I said, fuck that paint, bro. Fuck that paint. I left all that shit, bro. But I said, I'm gonna come back. And I came back. I got some other graphics. That shit was good. But man, they was there. We had to jump off about 25 feet off the front because we couldn't. They had to so they was.
You just dropped out in the street.
Yeah, no, I had went over like about 6 roofs, so it had been a total about maybe 200-300 feet.
Right.
And I jumped off the front because we couldn't go through the back. They had everything, but they had the front slide of where we were actually at, the painting. They had like they didn't have many cars, and so it was about that much a street. So they had the whole alley though. So I'm like, damn, I'm just waiting for the chance. I jumped down, 20. That's it. Like. And walk up right past him, walk to the front, and just stand back off to the side. Like,
I told y'all he was a superhero. This fool's jumping off rooftops with the superhero leg.
Superman.
That was funny shit. But, a couple times we had like, neck and neck chases, bro. They like on some wild style shit like
You're like, he right there, like for real, right there.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, good stories. Those are some of the most memorable ones as far as chases and shit. One time we in the tunnels couple times we're in the tunnels, but this one particular time, we're in there painting, and we need workers come in there. So me and Ork are in the tunnels bombing, doing outside. We started doing outsides, live train outsides. This was in the 80s.
What tunnels?
Grand, we on Grand, on the red line.
What's that?
We bombed like live trains at like 3 or 4 in the evening, or 5, right after when people getting off work, so it's packed.
Yeah.
So
Rush hour.
So it's rush hour. So we have, you know, it had little doorways there. So we at the last doorways, so we can get the last like couple trains, and then the front of one side and the back of the other side at the most non-visible areas. So we like bombing and shit. And man, I'm peeping. I look out on one side, workers coming, right? So about 5 or 6 workers are coming down the tunnel, and you only got like about 200 feet before they can see us. So we dip off on one side and come all the way to the back, and we at the end of the wall, right? And we at the center where the trains pass, and we standing in the tunnel, me and Ork. Then the train, here we hear a train coming, and the workers are coming, so like they're now about 50 feet from us. And we standing right there like, dang, and the train is coming this side, so we like, oh shit. They gonna see us, and the train gonna see us at the same time. We don't dip back in the hole, so me and Ork run. We run, and as soon as we jump out, the train is right 25. Boo, boo, boo. He's beeping like, get out of the way, because you're right. It's like only about 2 feet of space, and of space where you can walk through. And here's the third rail, and then there's a big metal box, a long metal box you gotta get past to get back along the side of the train to get into the little space there, or you can get crushed. Right. So we run, man, the thing going, and so Ork comes behind me, and then I turn around, I'm in the room, I jump in there. Ork's got like he's got about 10 feet to go. He's running the train, the front of the train is not really slowing. He's just hitting the horn. I'm like, why isn't he slowing? And we're like, fine. So then Ork run, and I see Ork, he's in between the train like passing him, and he's almost at the door. And I reach for him, man, he tumbles in, boo, boo, boo. I catch him like this, and I'm like, oh shit. And he's kind of like drowsy and like,
hell yeah.
So I'm like, oh shit. And then and just so happened, it's just enough time, like boo, boo, boo. And the workers walk past, so they don't see us. But the train is going, and he stops. So I gotta get work. So the train just kept going. He let his passengers out, and he kept going. So then I get Ork, put him on the station. And we walk and get on the side and jet out. So that's one
That's
thing.
crazy.
What the fuck?
So it wasn't a chase per se, but we eluded them.
Still a saga.
Yeah.
You had to become a medic for a second.
Yeah, definitely, man.
It was almost man down.
Yeah, and he was knocked out. Man, he was knocked out too. I had to take him home, set him on the couch, and he didn't go to the hospital because we was like, damn, we get spooked.
How do you explain it?
Yeah.
We were in the tunnel.
You know, being at that age, 14, 15, you know, being out to 2 in the morning, we used to have to like wear disguises and shit to look older. Because, you know, they had curfew in effect at certain times, and to be out 2, 3 in the morning, you know, 14, man, 15, and then get up at 6 to go to school.
To bring your ass all the way over the lane?
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah, it was crazy time.
So you had to get home first to check in.
Yeah, and I had to sneak in the house and climb the roof, get in the bed,
Fake it.
and then get up at 3 or 4 hours later to go to school, go to high school and shit.
That's crazy.
Good times, man, good times, bro.
Yikes.
Shit, I feel like I was there. Shit, my heart's beating right now. Man, I'm looking behind me.
We done rolled up our sleeves.
I'm talking about 10 seconds, bro. All we had 10, and the train, the whole front of the train is going like 20 miles, 30 miles, and it's like, yeah, and the third rail is right here at your ankles. So you like had to scoop like, damn.
Ankles.
You had to scoop back. You couldn't run with both feet together. That's how much space. You couldn't like run. You had to go like, when you get to it, you had to go like, and the train, man, it was crazy, bro.
You had to walk in 2D. That's crazy. Like
Just in the nigga time, man.
panel Mortal Kombat. Hey, we're on the show.
But beefs and shit like that, bro.
Yeah, that was like 2 stories in one. That's
Yeah. Beefs, like I remember when Crazy Man, when we had the first graffiti art show in Logan Square, and Crazy Man wrote on Fess's canvas, and they got into a little scuffle and shit, and but Crazy Man saw everybody's name up there, so he not thinking like, you know, hey, this is somebody's artwork.
Right.
You see a lot of names.
He was like, my turn.
Yeah, he's like, I don't put my name on that. Crazy get that name on he wrote on it, and Fesky said, no! And ran over there, so they started tussling. That's the only time I've really seen any beats, bro. I used to know a lot of
Did he really like yell
Listen,
out
they,
no, like that?
he do the like, no, he said it like that, bro. Yeah, man, he said it like that. He said, no! He had his hands fist up like this. No! Everybody in there, that's it. It was bugged out, man. That's my dudes, though. Fesky, man, he was definitely a father of the movement, man. And it's great to work with him, because when I first started working, he got me plugged at the art store to start working and exhibiting artwork there.
Dope.
And meeting a large collector audience. So it was a great time. I learned a lot of skill sets there too.
Good times.
Definitely, bro.
Man, all this info in your face.
Yeah, man.
Soak it in, because I'm soaking it in.
It's the one-on-one. We doing it live, you know what I mean?
Pay attention.
See?
Paying attention. We don't play
free.
around.
We here. All of it here.
Here, right by the pool.
Wow.
You were saying I brought up how how you guys kept in touch, being from the south side and being from the west side, and you guys being all city, and you were you traveled, you've gone around and shit. How did you get linked up in New York, being from Chicago and not having the internet?
Initially through the phone, I started talking with Case 2 and seeing a couple writers from New York. Henry Chalfant. And well, here's the story. Spray Can Art was a book that was published in '87, and I initially met the author, Jim Prigo, and took him to Logan Square. I took him on a tour of Chicago murals. He was from San Francisco. He was friends. The book was co-authored with Henry Chalfant, which is the writer of Subway Art, and I was in communicado with them, and I was talking with Henry, and I connected with him, and we scheduled a trip up there to interact and stuff, and that's how I initially hooked up with Case 2 and other writers there. Knock 167, you name it, Tracy 168, Case 2, Stan 160, Stan 153, Kel and Merrick, these cast, man, rock stars, COD crew. So that's how I really, started vibing. But initially, this was the '80s, and I was friends with Henry Chalfant. He took me to, we were connected on the phone he came to Chicago with Jim Prigo, and so we started talking. Then went up there and traveled and started, stayed at Henry Chalfant's place, and I started meeting a whole bunch of writers and shit like that, and they used to come to this place and we used to draw and shit, do shit. They took me on tours and shit, and it was great. It was a great time, bro. Man, New York's an amazing place.
Dope. Well, with talking about the coolness from back then, what do you think about right now? Actually, also, I've been meaning to ask this too. When do you think the quote-unquote new school started? While we talk about what's going on.
Well, new school has changed from what I've heard. I mean, I've been trying to keep up with it. It's amazing that I find myself, I'm sure as many others have, learning new lingo. And it's, of a cultural movement I've been a part of and found a member of for so long. And the language changes, so it's cool. It's cool to be a part of it. And I noticed that they date old school things back till like 2010. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, man, I'm a dinosaur.
I'm like a damn relic.
Yeah,
what the hell?
2010 is anything 2010. I'm like, that's 2010 and others is old school y'all. They're like, yeah, man, on the B-boy side. I'm like, wow. I was like, that's amazing to me. But looking at the graph scene, man, it's been growing, it's been changing, it's been retrogressing. The styles that I've seen, I'm seeing younger writers, the learning curve, you know what I'm saying? My guy Flash even introduced me to a young man who was doing a lot of stuff, that looked, like he was more advanced, and I was like, man, that learning curve. We had a little conversation, we were talking about it, and we had a little conversation in relation to how the learning curve was at the time. Like 2 to 3 years, a writer was painting like us, or painting styles that was more advanced, just from seeing it and mimicking it and doing it in their own way or whatever. And it's amazing to see, man, how fast it is advanced. Like 3 years, they paint like 10, 15-year guys.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Painting and doing style. I'm like, wow. So that's like amazing. The learning curve is changing.
Hell.
But I'm seeing retrogression. Like some younger guys are doing older styles and advancing the older styles. I'm like seeing a lot of mixture of new stuff. It's amazing. A lot of hybridization.
So I guess bonus question, how does it feel to be a secret influence? Like, I feel like a lot of cats will come up and do something that honestly wasn't seen in Chicago until you did it. But people are doing versions of what you have done and what you are doing now.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be a secret influence?
Well, it's,
like an accidental, can you can walk up to a kid and be like, you know, me to tell you how to do that better? And even if they're getting mad, you actually know how, because it's your style.
Yeah, man, it's amazing, man. I see the younger cats and I'll be like, wow. And I definitely try to lend a hand to the younger audience that requested, man. It's essential to carry the style on because it's important right now, as most art forms, as you know, have subsided prior to graffiti. And graffiti is the most prevalent form. It's pervasive in its nature and its acquisition, because a lot of the youth audiences flock to it because it offers them a feeling of presence of now and continuity with life and living, and it relates to their culture and their essence, so they identify with it, and it's good to be a part of it like that.
That's too dope, man. How you feeling, Mexico?
Dude, I'm lost, dude. I'm just lost in all this fucking info, and dude,
Yeah, man, it's
fucking
amazing.
dope.
Interesting you say that, because you say information. What we're dealing with is an information art form.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And, all of the art of a period reflects the culture and the period of the time. As this is the growth of the technological age and the computer age, our art reflects what we do. So when you say information, there's so much information. We're evolving into a knowledge economy, into other forms of economies, becoming a global culture. And it's important for us as artists to know this. Again, if we don't pass on what we do as creative artists and beings to the youth and younger audience, for them to carry it on in succession, it subsides. So we take all other art forms and combine them into one. We take all other styles of art that have existed and we incorporate that into what we do with a rapid medium. It's great, the aerosol can. So it's essential. It's an information art form. It reflects technology, complexity of letters and letter forms is related to like programming and things of that nature. Computer technology, ciphers and encoding, having to break apart information. Like when you send an email, you send that information and it comes through and it gets chopped up into bits and pieces. So these is bits and pieces.
Bits and pieces.
So, when it comes back on the other side,
Focus, man.
when it comes back on the other side so you can read it. So the same thing as graph. When you look at it, you have to know the complexity of how to structure it and you can read it. So it's an art form and it's pervasive. So it's definitely.
Yeah, people definitely don't see it until you give them a little taste, and then they just can't stop seeing it. So I mean, you're on to something, man.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm glad to be a part, bro. I mean, I've seen it grow, and I've been studying, and I've had interaction with some amazing people like Phase 2, and man, these people, man, inspire me, man, Scheme, and these brothers, man, and all the other
all the inspiration.
Yeah, man,
Tell
these
us all
guys are
about
really
it.
raw. You know what I mean? And I've been studying, and it's amazing art form. I'm glad to be a part of it, bro. It's amazing time right now.
Yeah, it was an amazing time back then, man. Thank you for being back then to bring us to the nows, to make cats like me be like.
You definitely,
We're
man.
gonna do this.
You
We're
take
gonna do
everybody
this.
out, bro, and it's exciting to see what everybody's doing. And I see things and styles that I've done back in the '80s being perfected now. It's like wow. So it's like, man, you gotta come up with some new stuff.
You're like, huh?
So
I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
You snapped.
So it's exciting. It makes you, more makes you feel alive. Art makes you feel alive. Art is life. So
Word up.
it's definitely part of everything we do.
Besides us, has anyone ever told you about it? Any off the wall stories? Or someone be like, yo, I saw this thing you did.
Oh yeah, all the time. I hear stuff that I don't even remember. I'm like, man, that's like, wow. Then I remember. I'm like, oh snap, I remember.
Because I've run into you at from hip hop events to wear your nice clothes art events.
Okay.
Like we've run into each other a lot of places.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
So I mean, I'm wondering if there's like how many. Like I want to. To me, it's like the stories of someone being like, "Oh, I remember you, my cousin Benny from back. He says he's from back in the yards, but I don't know what that means." I'm like, "I got the back of my yard too." But they have these weird backyard stories about people, which is funny.
Yeah.
But well, dope.
Definitely, bro. Definitely, man. I love the new generation, man. I love what they're doing, and I look forward to contributing, getting out there, and put some work out there.
Dope.
Yeah.
Anybody that stands out that you see, like when you drive around or just walk?
Oh yeah, I love the Midwest in general, bro, man. They're innovating a lot of trends and styles. Like we have a lot of variation, which is uncommon in a lot of other states and overseas with the advent of three-dimensional rendering styles, because the difference between outlining a form and rendering a form relates to like rendering engines and how 3D and graphical information is created using computer technology. Again, it's an information art form, so we reflect that. And you know, the different technologies with TV production. So these are all elements of what we do with the art form. Yeah.
This just in.
Holy shit! What the fuck is that? Oh, snap!
A bigger version of this right here.
That's nuts. People are.
Yeah.
Look at you. Erected. Big thumb actions here.
That was a titty. What up?
Mexico, what up, B? Chillin', Wendy 101, what's up?
Man, no, you're gonna see the picture.
You're gonna see the picture,
you're
man.
See the picture. I ain't got. Man, look, y'all gonna see it. This motherfucker's a beast. He does his thing. He holds it down. He doesn't play around. He started from day one. Still here.
No doubt. Mexico in the building. What up? Tamper in the building. What's going on? Yes, sir.
Hey, so tell us all the things of where we can follow you, send worshipers to you to drink the Kool-Aid.
And all the big booty hoes.
Okay, you can reach me at trixter1.com. That's my website. You can find a host of information there, pictures, etc. I'm also on Twitter, Trixter Chicago, and Instagram, Trixter1. Also on Facebook, Trixter1. So pretty much
all the things.
Write it down.
You can catch me on any of those channels, or follow me on any of those channels.
You can catch him rolling around with the dopest shows going on in Chicago with a damn bag full of more art and possibly paint. It's true.
It is true.
Other than that, yeah.
Thank you
No doubt.
for being here.
Thanks for being you.
For
Much love, man.
fucking setting the style for a lot of us, especially me. I looked up to you, man. The whole they're doing the thing. I'm just gonna keep talking right here to the camera. I love you guys.
No doubt.
Yo, man.
Wendy 101. You know what I mean? Come check us out. Graph history. We're doing it.
You know what it is. Here it is.
Certifiedly.
101. I'm your host, Mexico.
Yo, I'm a host, Tamper. This is the Wendy 101.
Peace.
Yo, this is Al Tamper.
I'm Mexico.
Yo, this is Wendy 101. Click all these links around the fucking squares and shit.
Or hit the bell.
And hit the bell. Just hit the bell, wherever it is.
See
Tell your moms. It might be cool for you.
what he said.
Killing your feelings with skillings, drilling the millions. Idiots really missing it, son and them and they minions. These silly kiddies plead the fittest with that lip they flapping. Trust we checking shits because Telly said slap the shit out of them. Up in your crib like it's Penaz, I put my feet up. Right after your party where your crew just watch you get stuck up. That shit was only practice, we still call that up and coming. All we do is show up.